Hey guys, Jay the Vaping Guy here. Thanks for checking out my site. I just want to kind of give you guys a bit of a who am I? Why am I doing this? First of all, I'll give you a bit of my story. About a little over 2.5 years ago, I found myself at a crossroads. Find a way to get off of cigarettes, find an alternative or something, or face potential death in 5 to 10 years. In the year before I found e-cigs, I'd had 2 bouts of pleural effusions. For those of you who don't know what a pleural effusion is, basically in the space between my lung and the cavity around it filled up on my left side with as much as 6 inches at one point in time, according to one of the x-rays, with fluid, crushing this lung. I had to have a needle put through my back and have fluid drained out in order to be able to breathe properly. I had 3 bouts of pneumonia. I was on 2 puffers. And my doctor was saying that at the rate I was going, I had between 5 and 10 years before I would croak if I didn't quit smoking. I am a single full-time father. My little girl's in bed right now. Anybody who's talked to me, who knows anything about me, knows that she is my reason d'être. She's my reason for being. You know, everything I do is to take care of her, and anything I do above and beyond that is to take care of you guys. And I needed to be here for her. I needed to find something. And so I started searching on the internet. And initially I came across something along the lines of this kit. Now I have long since lost the original kit that I bought. I went out about a year ago and I bought this one. Spent the $95.98 to pick it up and bring it home just so I can show it off to people going, don't ever buy this. This here is a DSE 103. Now, it's never ever worked from the moment I bought it. It'll light up at the end, but it doesn't do anything at the atomizer. And I got one of these kits, and I tried it, and I bought into the whole, it's going to be the equivalent of 8 packs of cigarettes, and this, that, and the other, and I bought in because I was so desperate to find something, so desperate to find anything to take care of me, because I needed to get off of cigarettes. I loved my smoke, don't get me wrong, I loved it. I love waking up in the morning and, you know, putting a cigarette in my mouth and feeling it in my lungs. I love that. What I didn't love was, as soon as I finished that, especially first in the morning, it was for about 45 minutes or so, and I'd be dizzy. Ooh, that made me a little bit dizzy. Ooh, just give me a second here. All right. Sorry. And, you know, I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy the fact that I needed it. I mean, and anyone who's ever been a smoker in the past will remember, you know, you get down to that last cigarette and you'd be like, I got 1 smoke left. And then 5 minutes after you'd smoking the second to last cigarette, you have to have that one. And then you'd turn around and you'd light her up and you'd suck her back in. I has no more cigarettes. I must have more now. Which is always retarded because, you know, when you've got a full deck, you can have to smoke. All right, I'm good for an hour and a half, or I'm good for 2 hours, or good for however long you were typically good for. But when it came down to that last cigarette, you panicked and you freaked out, and I was addicted, and I am still addicted. Don't get me wrong. I have an addiction. My addiction is nicotine. My addiction to nicotine is no worse than any other person's addiction to caffeine. You know, as long as it's well managed, there's nothing wrong with it. It was everything else that was coming from a cigarette that was killing me. And like I said, I had 2 puffers a day. I had to have 1 puffer that I had to use twice a day, which was designed to keep my lungs, clear. And I had a rescue inhaler that I had to use between 3 to 7 times a day just to be able to breathe, just to be able to work, because my lungs would just collapse on me for no reason. My walk to work, I live 1 kilometer away from my front door to the front gate of my office, or like for where my office is. It's 1 kilometer. That used to take me 25 minutes. I would get there exhausted, sweaty, and ruined for the day. And so anyway, so I came across, the first time I came across, of course I don't even have a 510 battery around anymore. Little pencil saw, you know, about the size of that. I picked one of them up, for the first month it was surprisingly effective. But, you know, that first thing in the morning smoke and that last thing at night smoke was still just wasn't enough. And then I switched from there, and I moved on to the Egos. This is actually probably one of the original Egos I got, because I only had so many of the original style Egos. And then I went to this thing. And that thing there, I had 2 of these batteries, and I was just constantly flicking it back and forth. But that pushed me to the point where I didn't need to have a cigarette. You know, of course, it's upstairs, my Vaporversary mod, February 7th, 2011. I had my last cigarette first thing in the morning, 7:30, as I was walking out the door. I know that because I'm ADD. I have routine. This happens now, and then this happens now, and then this happens now, and then I do this, and I have a whole list schedule in my head. So I know at 7:30 was my last cigarette, because I would have a cigarette at 7:30, and then just before we go to bed at 11 o'clock, I'd have my last cigarette and go lay down. So I know my last cigarette was at 7:30. By the time I got home that night, I had my first Ego kit in hand, and the rest, as they say, is history. Since that time, within the first month or two, my need for my puffers completely dissolved. My shortness of breath, every morning I'd have a 45-minute hack fest, trying to work my lungs out, trying to hack crap out. I didn't have that anymore. I still had my hack, smoker's hack, but here's an interesting thing. I had once before quit smoking, or stopped smoking, for about a year, and in that time frame it took about 6 months for my smoker's hack to go away, and I kept on hacking up small little bits of tar and nasty. With the e-cigs, I found that actually I had only about maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most of hacking, but it produced so much extra. And I'm genuinely convinced, no science behind this whatsoever, that when you're inhaling this, which is a water vapor, you're adding moisture to your lungs, and it's pulling and releasing stuff off your lungs, and so it was coming out easier and cleaner. So I was hacking up great big gobs of black nasty, and I've talked to a number of people, and they all say the same thing. And I know I'm rambling, but this is my opening story, and I can do whatever I want. Anyways, so, you know, I felt great. But then I started getting into it. I was buying juices, and I was trying this juice and trying that juice, and I was frustrated that I had wasted money on this DSE, this piece of crap, and I was frustrated that I had wasted money on a juice that I thought sounded really great, but really didn't taste anything like it was supposed to, or didn't taste good to me, or anything else. And I started going, you know, going to YouTube reviews and going, well, what's somebody else saying about this? You know, is this actually any good? Is that really good? Is this bad? Is that bad? So I started doing a couple of stupid little YouTube reviews, and I mean, in the beginning, it was literally, I mean, maybe once a week or so I'd throw up a video about a juice that I had just gotten, and it was, it's funny, I think if I was to go back and try those juices now, I'd probably go, this is crap, man! Because I remember the first juices I had, the first one, it was caramel, it was from Vapables.com. It's a company that I don't think even exists anymore, and they were purely e-juice. My first good kit that I got, my first 510 kit and my first Ego kit, both came from HappyVapor.com. Great vendor here in Canada. Jack is an amazing guy to deal with. Over the years, I've come to the point where I can just sit there and chat with him. Call him up 2 o'clock in the morning. It's his best time to get him is about 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were on the phone for 3-4 hours. And just chat. Really informative, really easy to deal with. Jack and his whole team, amazing people to deal with. But Vapables, this original company, they had one flavor, one note flavors, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of the one note flavors, you know, the whole flavor snob shit. So I would, you know, these, you know, it was the caramel. That was my big thing to start off with. Caramel! I love this caramel! My buddy liked the tobacco, but every time he'd get a tobacco, it was crap, and then we start adding caramel to it, and it was mellowing it out and making it perfect. We were making our very own RY4 and didn't even know it. Long story short, fast forward for a little while, I stopped doing YouTube reviews. I started focusing more on the vape TV shows, and I thought that was really important. I've now reevaluated, and I honestly believe that this is my best way to help people is to create a video, leave it out there. So if somebody wants to know about XYZ product, Amsterdam e-liquid product, the iGo S, the iGo L was upstairs, the 50 cal, you know, you name it. I'm just grabbing things that I have right here The Lava Tube Mini. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it shit? My opinion is blank. Here's my opinion. And I for a long time, I kind of questioned whether or not I was doing any good here. And then I started getting some response. Jay, can't wait for your next video. That was amazing. That was spot on. Thanks for that idea. I tried that. It was great. Somehow I think I'm making a difference. If it's one person I'm making a difference to, then that's great. I'll continue doing these videos for you guys as long as I'm touching one person's life. So that's it. You know, I did this. I started vaping for my daughter. I started doing this for you guys. You know, hopefully I'll be able to keep doing this. Hopefully I'll keep making a difference. I do believe I make a difference. I have to believe that I'm making a difference. The day that I stop believing that I'm making a difference is the day that I have to stop doing this. Anyways, guys, so there you are. That's why I'm here. That's what I'm doing. This is for my intro video, because YouTube is telling me that I should have an intro video for new people before they subscribe. Well, there you go. Here's my intro video. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. Jay the Vaping Guy, signing off.